The career trap of being good at your job. It's easy to assume that being good at your job is the safest way to grow your career. And honestly, it should be. But over time, I've noticed something interesting. Some of the hardest working and most reliable people I've worked with end up getting stuck in the same role. Not because they're not talented, it's actually because they're so good at what they do. The company knows they can count on them, so they keep coming back to the same person for the same problems. And eventually, that strength can become a limitation. In this episode, I'll show you why being great at your job can actually keep you stuck, why companies keep relying on what already works, how getting closer to decisions can change your career path, and how to grow beyond the role people know you for. When success becomes a trap. It's actually pretty logical why good workers get stuck. Think about Hollywood. When a movie becomes a huge success, studios usually want to make a sequel, a reboot, or some kind of spin-off. Not because they hate creativity, because they know it works. Companies do the same thing. If you're the person who solves a certain problem, people naturally keep bringing that problem back to you. It usually looks like this. You do something well, you get more of it. You become reliable, you get more responsibility in that area. You become consistent, people start knowing you for that work. And over time, that can become the box you're put in. The frustrating part is that most people don't realize it's happening until they start feeling stuck. It's not usually because someone is trying to hold you back. The system is just doing what systems do. It repeats what already works. Once I understood that, a few key moments in my career started making a lot more sense. Example 1. The wrong reaction. Earlier in my career, I got promoted to a manager role at an internet marketing company. A higher-up position then opened up, and I was qualified for it. A lot of people around me even thought I should get it. But someone else got the position. And honestly, I was frustrated. I felt like I deserved it. I blamed ownership, I blamed the person who got promoted. I convinced myself the system was unfair. Looking back, some of that frustration was understandable, but the way I responded to it was the real problem. Over time, I stopped caring as much. My attitude changed. My performance started to slip. And eventually, I was fired. Looking back, losing that opportunity wasn't what hurt my career. My reaction was. Because when things don't go as you expect, your response becomes part of the system. And eventually, the system responds to you. Example 2. The right response. A few years later, something similar happened. I wanted to move into a marketing role at the travel company where I worked. I was qualified, a position opened up, and the company even encouraged internal movement. But nothing happened. And my first instinct was the same as before. I blamed the manager. I assumed she didn't want to lose me because I was leading the training team. But this time I caught myself. Instead of asking, who's holding me back, I started asking, what can I control? I stopped focusing on the position I wanted and focused on doing the best job I could in the position I already had. And something interesting happened. The frustration went away almost immediately. Then, just a few weeks later, my manager announced she was leaving. Instead of getting the marketing role that I thought I wanted, I stepped into her role. It paid more, I learned more, and honestly, it ended up being a much better fit for my career. The same situation, but a completely different outcome. The biggest difference wasn't the organization, it was how I responded while nothing seemed to be happening. The question that changed my career. For a long time, I thought the answer was simple. Work harder, learn more skills, take on more responsibility. And while those things matter, they weren't actually what changed my career. The real shift happened when I stopped asking, how do I become better at my current role, and I started asking, how do I become valuable beyond my current role? A good example of this happened in my current role at McClatchy Media. When I first started, my focus was on what you would expect from a commerce writer: write better articles, grow traffic, improve performance, help drive affiliate revenue. Those things mattered, but I started thinking, where does the business value actually come from, and how can I get closer to the revenue? That changed how I looked at my role. I learned more about sponsored content. I started seeing PR pitches differently too, not just as potential article ideas, but as potential business opportunities. Over time, my role expanded from simply creating content to managing larger content relationships connected to the company revenue. And the interesting part is, I didn't stop being a writer. I just expanded what people saw me as capable of doing. That's the shift. Because being valuable isn't just being good at one thing. It's about making sure people understand the full value of what you can create. Because if everyone sees you as just a writer, the trainer, or the analyst, that's probably where you'll stay. Create more value, not more work. The good news is that this pattern can be changed. You don't need to become a different employee. You don't need to quit your job, and you definitely don't need to stop doing great work. The goal isn't to work more. It's to make sure your value grows beyond the role you're already known for. That means being intentional about what people know you for, the skills you're building, and the problems you're helping solve. Because over time, those small choices change the opportunities that come your way. But there's an important distinction here. This does not mean taking on the work of 3 people or saying yes to every extra responsibility. A lot of people say, I do the work of 3 people, but that's not leverage. If you're just doing more work without increasing your influence, visibility, or impact, you're creating more value without changing how people see you. The goal isn't to do more. The goal is to create value in places that expand how people see your role. And there are 3 ways to start doing that. Expand your current value. Know what you're known for. The first thing you need to understand is what you're actually known for. Not your job title, your behavior. What do people consistently come to you for? Solving problems? Explaining things? Staying calm under pressure? Getting things done? Whatever that answer is, that's what people will naturally keep assigning to you. I've noticed this outside of work too. For some reason, people constantly stop me in stores like Target or Walmart asking where something is. I'm not wearing a red shirt, I'm not wearing a blue vest, but somehow people assume I work there. And honestly, the same thing has happened throughout my career. People come to me with questions even when I'm not their manager or editor. Looking back, I think it's because I've always tried to be approachable and helpful. That's the reputation I've built. And that's the lesson. Pay attention to what people know you for, because that reputation is shaping the opportunities you receive. Get closer to decisions. There's a big difference between doing the work and understanding why the work exists. Most people focus on the task in front of them. Write the article, edit the video, answer the email, meet the deadline. And there's nothing wrong with that. But career growth often happens when you start getting curious about what happens before the work reaches you. Why was this project chosen? How does it make the company money? Who decides what gets prioritized? Those conversations shape the business. In my own career, I stopped thinking about writing articles and started thinking about where the revenue actually came from. That led me to learn sponsored content and understand partnerships. I was still writing, but people started seeing me as someone who understood more than just the content side. And that's the point. You don't have to make every decision, you just need to understand how those decisions are made. Don't let one role become your identity. Your job description tells you what you're responsible for today. It doesn't define where you can create value tomorrow. A good example of this happened at my current role. Every day I was getting PR pitches from companies looking for free editorial coverage. It would have been easy to just treat them as another part of my workflow, but I started thinking, there's probably more value here. These companies weren't just looking for articles. Some of them were potential business opportunities. Before I did anything, I talked to my managers to make sure it aligned with the company's goals. Once we agreed it made sense, I started identifying potential opportunities and sharing them with the right teams. None of that was in my original job description. I was still doing the work I was hired to do. I just started paying attention to opportunities my role gave me access to. So don't only ask, what am I responsible for? Also ask, what opportunities can I see because of where I sit? Sometimes the biggest opportunity isn't outside your role. It's sitting right under your nose. Your career growth depends on what you're known for. The biggest lesson I've learned is that career growth isn't just about getting better at your job. You have to make sure people understand the full value you can create. For me, that meant stopping thinking of myself as just a writer and starting to think about how I could contribute to the business in different ways. Because once people start seeing you differently, new opportunities start to appear. And here's the interesting part. Those opportunities usually don't come from strangers. They come from people who already know your work, your attitude, and what you're capable of. That's your reputation. And your reputation might be one of the most valuable career assets you can build. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about building that reputation and what makes people think of you first when new opportunities come up.